Sam Heughan, Caitriona Balfe. What made them keep their relationship secret for 10 years? In a small cafe in Edinburgh's Old Town, Sam Heughan sat pensively by the window, twisting a familiar silver ring. No one in the cafe recognized him, or perhaps they pretended not to, respecting the meaningful silence he carried. Across the street, a woman walked in. Dark brown hair, a classic trench coat, sunglasses that covered almost half her face. When she took them off, there was no doubt, it was Caitriona Balfe. They didn't hug. There was no kiss, just a look, and for a brief moment so warm that the stranger sitting next to them had to look away. "It's been 10 years, Sam said, almost in a whisper, and no one knows," Caitriona smiled. Almost no one. From Perfect Fit to Real Emotions. When they were both cast as Jamie and Claire Fraser in 2013, they were just two names that hadn't really made it big. Sam came from the stage, and Caitriona was a model turned actress. But from the first audition, the director said, "No need to try again. They belong together." What no one expected was that, between the passionate love scenes in Outlander, something beyond the script began to take shape. First, there was the chemistry in the dialogue. Then the unsolicited touches. Then the gaze that wouldn't leave when the camera stopped. Sam once said in an old interview, there was a scene where Claire had to hold Jamie's hand so tight when he was dying. When we finished filming, her hand still hadn't let go. And I didn't want to let go. Unwritten rules and heartbreaking choices. In Hollywood, or any movie capital, there are always unwritten rules. One of them is, don't date your co-star, especially in a long-running series. What happens when a couple falls in love in real life? When things are going well, audiences are enthralled. But when the romance is broken, the whole series can come crashing down. We knew that if we let our personal feelings get in the way of our performances, we would not only ruin our friendship, but also ruin Jamie and Claire, Caitriona wrote in a personal diary entry, later shared in a behind-the-scenes photo exhibition. So they made the hardest choice, keep it all under wraps. Not to fall in love, or to reveal that they were in love. And love began to live in the shadows, blind dates and unheard promises. No one knew, or confirmed, that Sam and Cat had ever, secretly dated. But there were undeniable signs. A 2017 photo in Prague, where the crew was filming season 3, captured a man and a woman walking hand in hand at night. Their faces were blurry, but their figures were all too familiar. Sam once slipped up during a live stream with fans. Season 3 was the season Jamie and Claire were apart the longest. And also the season 1 missed Cat the most, even in real life. In a diary that a studio assistant once revealed, there was a small detail. After the scene where Claire gave birth, Cat couldn't stop crying. Not because she was tired, but because Sam said something while they were hugging. No one heard it clearly. She just said back, "I promise." When fame is the price to pay for silent love. As Outlander became more and more famous, the two became the center of attention. The press started reporting, fan pages sprung up, the hashtag #SamCat filled social media. And then, the questions began. Are they dating? Why aren't they seen together in real life? Why did Caitriona marry someone else? Is Sam jealous? Sam smiled at the camera and said, "Cat is one of the most important people in my life. And sometimes, the most important things are not for the public." When Caitriona married a man, a non-celebrity, many people assumed that the relationship between her and Sam was over. But the truth could be very different. An insider once revealed, he respected her choice. But they didn't distance themselves. On the contrary, it was after that point that they got closer, in silence. secret, signal codes, and the subtlety of silence. There are things that don't need to be said, but can be understood just by looking. Sam and Caitriona have created a sophisticated, signal code system that only they can understand. When they appear together at events, there are always fleeting glances, gentle smiles, and fleeting touches that contain a sea of emotions. Once at the 2017 Emmy Awards, when Caitriona received the award for Best Actress, Sam did not hesitate to stand up and applaud the most enthusiastically. But what made fans shudder was his proud and profound gaze towards her. After the ceremony, a close friend of theirs revealed, "They don't need to say anything, just look at each other and they know everything." Not only on the red carpet, even during crew meetings or cold outdoor scenes, Sam and Cat often give each other small gestures, like putting a hand on the back to encourage, or simply looking at each other when one of them feels tired. A promise to keep it secret, a fateful conversation. In 2018, at a quiet cafe in Scotland, Sam and Cat had a conversation that changed everything. It was after season 4 of Outlander had finished filming, and things were gradually becoming tense due to work and media pressure. Caitriona recounted in a little-known interview, "We sat there, in the cafe, and looked at each other for a long time. Sam told me that we couldn't let this, which everyone was guessing, become a subject of the press. We have to keep this secret, not only for our careers but for ourselves." Sam agreed, and from then on, the two made a promise never to go public or even share with anyone about their deep feelings. "We call it, the secret of two hearts," Caitriona once revealed, "something that can't be put into words, but is always there." The times they protected each other, even though no one knew. In the world of showbiz full of temptation and gossip, Sam and Caitriona are not only colleagues but also protectors. When Caitriona faced negative rumors about her image and private life, Sam was the first to gently but firmly refute them. On the contrary, when Sam encountered difficulties in his own projects and was criticized, Cat always posted meaningful statuses on social networks, cheering him up without revealing the true relationship. A close friend of theirs said, "They are two sides of the same coin. When one is tired, the other will be a strong shoulder to lean on." The price of sacrifice. Keeping a deep love secret for 10 years is not easy. They had to sacrifice many things. Sam once said in a rare interview, "I turned down many opportunities, dating invitations or projects abroad, just to be close to her and keep this secret." Caitriona also confided, "There were nights when I cried alone, because I couldn't share my true feelings with anyone." They chose to sacrifice their privacy to protect not only their careers but also their precious relationship, even though it was not in the normal love category. A relationship beyond the usual love boundary. In the end, both Sam and Caitriona realized that their feelings could not be confined to common words like friendship, love, or colleagues. They had a special bond, a connection that only long-term companions who understood each other deeply could experience. Sam once said, "There are relationships that don't need to be labeled, that don't need to be flaunted. We're not dating, but we're not just friends either. We're each other's secret keepers, lifelong companions." Quote.